Welcome in, everybody. This is Unleash Creativity and Productivity with Adobe Express Quick Actions. I'm going to wait just a minute or so for folks to join in from their last session, and then we'll get started. If you want to, go ahead and drop into the chat. Let me know your grade level, content area, all that good stuff, so I know who I'm working with today as everybody is joining in. So go ahead and find that chat and add that in for me. Perfect. If you're just joining us, we're adding in to the chat, content area, grade level, job role into the chat. And this is Unleash Creativity and Productivity with Adobe Express Quick Actions. We're going to look at a lot of the different quick actions that are available in Adobe Express so that you can easily start doing some things you may not know Adobe Express could do to help you in your job role, and some things that we can also allow for the students to do with Adobe Express as well. I work with a company called Fried Tech, and we are a professional development provider, providing instructional technology, professional development. We're based out of the Houston, Texas area, so that's where I am joining you all from today. And we believe that everything is better fried, including professional development. So we're going to fry up some PD for you today. If you aren't already following us on social media, you can give us a follow wherever you like social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and even TikTok. Go ahead and give us a follow. And my name is Lori Roberts. I am a lead learning guide with Fried Tech, and I am going to paste a couple of links into the chat. Let's do them both at the same time. Make it easier on all of us, right? So that link that I just posted in, there's a resource site link, which is also on the slide. It's going to take you to a resource site with a couple of different links that we'll talk about later on in the session, for you to be able to utilize once we're done today. And then I also posted a link to the Adobe attendance form. So that's just a quick little check-in attendance link for Adobe's attendance. And you'll be getting another link for your district towards the end of the session as well. And I know they're going to be sharing resources later with the folders where all of this information is going to be. And I have a PDF in there that also has these links as well. So if you miss them, you'll be able to get them later on too. So the Adobe attendance link and the resource site are there for you. I also have those pinned, so if any friends join us a little bit later, they'll get those as well. Throughout the session, if you have any questions, drop them into the chat and we will get them answered for you. This is a fast and furious session. We got a lot to show in a short amount of time, so let's go ahead and get started. And the first thing is, if you don't already know how to get into Adobe Express, you get in through ClassLink. If my notes are correct, I believe you get in through ClassLink. Is that correct? Perfect. I got a head nod. So there we go. Perfect. So I joined y'all, I think, for the same uh, day of learning, a similar day of learning last year. So I had that in my notes. So you'll go into a class link, and in class link, you'll have a tile that looks like the one you see on the screen. This black square with a rainbow A, that's the Adobe Express button. And once you click on that to get logged in, it may cycle through a couple of screens. If you've never logged in before, it'll say like, welcome to Adobe Express. It will ask you if you're an educator or a student, and make sure you pick you are an educator so that you have all of the great educator resources that are available in Adobe Express for you. If you have any issues getting logged in, you might make a note in it, and we can, somebody from your side in the district can help you with that if there's any issues getting in. But if you just want to sit back and watch, feel free to do that. If you want to open up a tab and practice along with me, I encourage you to do that as well, because we're going to look at a lot of different things we can do in Adobe Express. And feel free to use those reactions in Google Meet as well. We'll have them streaming across the screen. I like when they float up and stuff. So let's go ahead. I'm going to jump on over to Adobe Express. This is what it looks like, and we're in the education version. So the EDU version is here for all K-12. You have it with your district set up, and what's great about Adobe Express K-12 is it's a safe and secure environment for both you and your students. So a lot of the media resources that we're going to be able to see in here, they are filtered for K-12. So you can be rest assured that students are going to be accessing materials that are safe for them. First, what I want to do is show you where we're going to find all of the quick actions, and then we're going to jump in and start looking at how we can start creating with them. So there's two places we can find quick actions. One place is over on the left-hand side of the screen. There is a purple little button up there in a purple circle. It's got a white plus sign on it. And if we click on that button, you'll see there are two tabs up here at the top. There's a Create tab where we can start creating different types of products. And then there is a Quick Actions tab. That Quick Action tab lists all of the different quick actions that are available. They are not in alphabetical order. Kind of hurts my little organizational heart, but they're not in alphabetical order. So if you're looking for one specific, you kind of got to scroll through, or there is a search box at the top. So if I was wanting to do something with PDFs, if I search for PDF, it's going to give me all of those different quick actions that start with that term PDF. The second place you can find quick actions, which is the place I usually prefer to go more because I'm visual, and I like to look for certain icons that remind me of what that quick action does rather than looking at the text. So on the main home page, we can also find those quick actions. If we scroll down, and we're going to scroll, I'm a kind of navigation person. We're going to scroll past these colorful buttons at the top. We're going to scroll past these little boxes here that have the suggested types of products we can create. And then there's an area in the middle called suggested quick actions. You're looking for the shoe. If you find the shoe, you found the quick actions. That's kind of my landmark that we're looking for. And hopefully they won't change it to a different icon. Right now it's a shoe, so that's what I always tell people to look for. That shoe is where all of the different quick actions are. And if you notice over on the far right-hand side, there's a View All button. So once you find the shoe, look all the way over on the right, and there's a View All button that when we click on that View All, it's going to show us all of the different quick actions, and they're grouped by the type of product or work we're going to do. So we've got all of them listed. Again, they're not in alphabetical order. Not my decision, that's Adobe's decision. So what they do is they kind of put them in the order of the most used is how they're putting these in order. But they're also grouped by other categories as well. So we have quick actions grouped by social media, we have video quick actions, photo quick actions, and we have document quick actions, which is where we are going to kind of start to look at some of the different things that we can do with PDFs. Just kind of a shout out here, we can convert documents from PowerPoint presentations, from Word documents into a PDF. We can combine files. So if you have multiple PDFs, you can combine them into one PDF. You can organize your PDFs. So if you have PDFs with 40 pages, you can reorder those pages. You can delete pages out. And you can convert from a PDF into a PowerPoint presentation, a Word document, a JPEG, etc. So those are some of those different quick actions that are there. One of the quick actions you'll also see here is called Edit PDF. Now, there's two different ways we can edit PDFs. This is the old way through quick actions. And if you utilize this method, I'm just going to show you real quick what it does and why we don't want to go this route anymore, because there's a way that's even better that we can edit PDFs now. So I'm going to click on that option. And it's going to have me browse. So I'm going to browse for a file in my drive. Let's go with the bingo. And when I do it through Quick Actions, it's going to open up that PDF and I can edit it, but it doesn't give me the full editor features like I can do in Adobe Express. The other thing that's kind of a hindrance on doing it this way is you can't save it. So if you want to make some changes and you want to save it and come back to it later to finish, you can't whenever you do it this way. You can only download it and then you're kind of done with it. So instead, what we want to do to be able to edit those PDFs in an even better way now is through the plus sign up at the top. And if we click on that plus sign, just like we did a minute ago for Quick Actions, we can now upload PDFs directly. And what will happen is it will take that PDF and turn it into the editor, like we're editing a normal graphic in Adobe Express, and we can make changes to the entire document and it's saved within our Adobe Express Your Stuff. So I'm going to click on Upload Media. I'm going to go find my PDF. So it's not showing you this on the screen right now, but it's opened up my browser for files. So I'm going to find a PDF and I'm going to go get that same bingo card. And now the screen looks different. It tells me it's uploading that PDF. It's converting that PDF into an Adobe Express file. And then it tells me once it's done, this was a really simple conversion because it's just one page. If I had picked something that was maybe 5, 10 pages, process may have taken a little bit longer. But it tells me we've converted that file. It's now an Adobe Express file saved in Your Stuff. So over on the left-hand side, I've got a Your Stuff button. That's where I can find this later because it saves to my file. So I'm going to click Open. And now it has opened this in the editor and everything you see on the screen is now editable. So I can change from a science bingo to a math bingo. And then I can start coming in here to each one of these text boxes. I can edit them. I can change the colors if I want to on this. I can add in more icons as well. So once again, if I'm on the main homepage in Adobe Express, lots of hearts and confetti. I'm liking that you're liking it. We're going to click on the plus sign up in the very top left-hand corner. Once I click on that plus sign, I'm going to go down to the option that says Upload Media. And when you click on Upload Media, that's where we go to our drive on our computer, find that PDF to be able to upload it. Now, there is one small caveat with this. If somebody has taken a PDF and they've locked it down, let's say they have access to Acrobat Pro, the paid PDF editor from Adobe, if they've locked this down and protected that PDF, you're not going to be able to edit it. So sometimes your book publishers and things like that, they lock down those documents. So you may not be able to do it. It will tell you that the document is protected if you cannot do it. So you just simply click that Upload Media button. Again, purple plus sign, top left-hand corner, then the black Upload Media, and then go find your PDF. I'm going to do a different PDF this time. And then within a couple of seconds, it's going to convert this over. This one's a lot more text heavy than the last one that we just looked at, but it does the exact same process. This one's 2 pages. I'm going to click Open. And then now, again, my PDF, all editable. I can change the pictures. I can delete items. I can delete text boxes. I can move anything around. And at the bottom, this one has 2 pages, so I can even do that to the second page as well. So that is the Edit PDF option. So I showed you those edit PDFs. The other thing that we can also do with this is we can translate the file. So if I open up that PDF like I had before, let me go back to page 1. On any file in Adobe Express, this is an exclusive just to PDFs. You can do this as well with any file in Adobe Express. At the very top of your screen, you have a translate button. Now, depending on the size of your screen, the word translate may not show up, but that little icon next to it will. So you're looking for either the icon or the word translate whenever you are looking to do the translation. So I'm going to click on the translate choice. And in Translate, you have the option to translate one or more pages. So I can do them all, or I can just pick a page. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and keep both of those 2 pages selected. At the top of that little toolbar that opens up on the left-hand side, I then pick my languages. I can pick one or more languages. I don't have to just translate one at a time. So I'm going to come down here, I'm going to do French, and then I'll go ahead and do Spanish as well. And then I can come down to the very bottom. There's a purple translate button. I click the button one time, and then again in just a few seconds, it's going to translate any text that is on those 2 pages. What it does is it takes the page, makes a copy, and translates it to that new language. So you can see right here, I now have page 1 and 2 are my original English version. Page 3 and 4 are the new French version. 5 and 6 are Spanish. And I'm going to open up one of these a little bit bigger so that you can see it. So right here, all of these text options have been changed to that new language. You might be saying, why didn't it change this Adobe Express for Education up here? I'm going to guess that this is not a text. This is probably an image. So if there's an image, it will not translate that. It is only translating the text. So you can see it here as well. Some of this up here at the top is not translated, but the bottom portions are. Page 5 is my Spanish version. Then with this, what I can do is I can download this as a whole new PDF. If I want to, I can download it as 3 separate PDFs, an English version, a Spanish version, and a French version. I can also publish this to the web. So top right-hand corner, you have a download button. Looks like a little down arrow into a little bucket. That's where we can choose the pages we want to download and the file format. And then you also have the ability to share this out as a view only link. So right here, I can choose view only link. And basically what this does is publishes my file to the web. And then now I have a link that anybody that has that link, they're going to be able to view that PDF. Okay. I had one question. I selected a PDF for my files, and when it got converted, it got a little jumbled. I would say depending on how the original PDF was created, that could be possible. In my experience, most often than not, it's not going to change any of the formatting. It's going to try to do the best it can, but sometimes text doesn't come over completely as text. It'll come over as images instead, depending on if the font or a close font is available. So it's one that's not 100% perfect, but it's pretty close to being perfect. Okay. So those are our translate options with our PDF and editing PDFs. And then, like I said, you do have those other options in there as well to combine files, organize pages. Okay. So our next one that we're going to look at is one of my personal favorites. This is how we can use quick actions to caption videos and translate videos. So you're not going to be able to see you're not going to be able to hear audio right now because of how Google Meet shares with Windows and all that wonderful stuff. But you can see as this video is playing, you can see captions. And you're seeing captions based off of the audio that's actually playing. I'm reading everything that you're seeing. And all I had to do for this was take a video that had audio, use a quick action, and those translations automatically appear on the screen. It's really pretty cool. And then what I can do is with that same translate feature that I just showed you with the PDF, we can translate those captions into other languages as well. So how does this work? We're going to go back to Adobe Express. I'm going to go back home. Before I do that, I just saw the question from Lauren. If you add audio to a PDF, it's not going to export as a PDF. You can only export it as a video file, an MP4. So it would save it as a movie if you add in an audio to a PDF. Good question there. So I'm going to come back down here and scroll down to those suggested quick actions again. This time I'm going over here to view all, just like I did before. I'm talking about editing captions for a video. So I'm going to go to the video grouping because I can find it quicker that way. And then you see there's a quick action called caption video. So quick actions, you're looking for the caption video quick action is what we're looking at here. So I'm going to click on that option, and it wants me to find a video. And then it also asks me, what is the language spoken in the video? So this is going to do a caption based off of the language spoken. If I'm speaking Spanish in the video, I need to pick Spanish as my language that's being spoken. Okay. I'm going to show you how to translate the captions afterwards, but it's not going to automatically translate those captions for you with this one. This is a straight caption based off of what's spoken. So I'm going to browse in here for my video, and I'm going to use, I just showed you with the Blue Jay. It's going to work through that process to caption the video. Again, the longer the video is, the process may take a little bit more time. And once it's done, you're going to have the ability to look through the captions to make sure that it captioned everything correctly, that it understood what you were saying. I've got a little bit of an East Texas twang in my voice, and if I don't pay attention and speak slowly, sometimes those captions can think I'm saying other words than what I'm actually saying. So you will be able to proofread it. There are also different captions as far as what the styles look like. So here's what it looks like. I can press play to preview it. If there were any errors as I was going, up here at the top, I can make those changes. From experience with this video, there is only one change that I actually have to make, and it is all the way at the very end, because this is a cowbird, not a cowbird. So I can fix that right there with cowbird. I can update my style, so I can click on any of these options. You can see this one's got everything over kind of in the right-hand side. That animation is done for me automatically. So you can pick and choose which format you like, and you can even customize the colors. So if you like the basic bar at the bottom, but you don't like the black color, you can come in here and you can change those colors as well. Then what we can do from this, if we're done and we just need a simple captioning, I can download that video. Download it right away. It's going to download it as an MP4 to my computer. But if I want to take it a step up and I want to translate those captions, I'm going to then open this in the editor. So I'm going to click open in editor. When I do that, it's going to move me on over to the editor, just like we saw for that PDF option. I have my video here on the screen. And what we're going to look at is over here on the far right-hand side, we've got layers. So whenever you're creating in Adobe Express, as you add items to the screen, it creates layers. And in those layers, what we can do is we can group layers together. So when it brings that video over from the quick action of captioning, what it does is it puts all of those captions in a group, so they're all together. So all of my captions are right here in this group 14. Here at the bottom, I have the actual video. If I go into that grouping, I'm going to double click, I can see each of those lines in there with the captioning. The reason I'm kind of explaining this to you is because when we translate, it's going to translate each of those layers. And the timing has already been set up. The timing is there because we use that quick action. Kelly, that is a great question. And I actually know the answer to it because I imported a file that had a lot of layers on it. And the max is 200. You can have up to 200 layers for any file in Adobe Express, not just video, but any file. I don't know if you're ever going to use the 200 layers. I only did because I imported a file that had that many. That's the only reason I found that little piece of information out. So I've got my layers in here with all of that text. Now remember, any text that's on the screen, we can translate it into another language. So I'm going to click on that translate button at the top, just like we did for our PDF. So up here at the top, I'm going to click translate. Over on the left-hand side, it once again asks me what languages do I want to translate it into. Once again, I can pick one or more languages. I don't have to just stick with one. I'm going to pick different languages this time. Let's go German and Italian. So I'm doing 3 different languages here, Chinese, German, and Italian. What it's going to do, just like it did on the PDF, it's going to make a copy of my video. and it's going to translate all the text. So I'm going to end up with 4 different videos. One video in English, one in Chinese, one in German, and one in Italian. So I'm going to click translate. It's going to work through that process to do it. And then once it's done, it will have those individual, oops, one word violates the terms of service. That's interesting. Let's try again. Let me take off a different language and see. I have never gotten that error message before on this file. So they've updated some content. So there's a word in here that is unsafe. Let's see if we can figure out what it is. It might be parasite. I don't know if that would be a. I'm going to guess it's the word parasite. I'm just going to take off that word and see if that's what did it. I guess I'm going to have to find another file to use this as my demo with, right? Because it doesn't like a word that I picked. But parasite, that's a science word, right? My science teachers are like, no, not parasite. Okay, let's try it again and see if that was the word. That was the word. It didn't like the word parasite. Very interesting there, but at least I figured out what it was, right? So we've got our English version, German version, Italian version. These are now separate videos. So but I'm speaking in English. So the audio that's being heard is English. The captions are in German for this specific video. Now, in the example I showed you with both versions, the English and the Spanish version on the screen at the same time. So how did I do that? Well, all I've got to do is come over here to that group of all of those captions that are in that other language, in this case, German. And all I've got to do is select that entire group. I have it clicked on the screen and I'm going to copy. So I can either edit with the 3 dots, go to more, and I can copy, or I can use shortcuts, Control C to copy. I'm going to go over to my English version, and I'm going to paste. So I can either right click, paste, or I can Control V to paste as well. It's going to paste them right on top of each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag it down. And now when I've got both versions on the screen at the same time, English and German. Really great for instructions for students. If you're having students who are new English language learners, it's a great way for them to make those connections between their native language and the English language. Also a great way for you as an educator to make videos to send home to families for them to be able to see. And if those families don't have English as their native language, you can use these captions. Anybody in the group that does social media, this is great for social media because you can have those captions in there as well. So that is our caption video with translate. So we kind of combined those two there. Again, if you have any questions, drop them into the chat and let me know. We're going to keep on rolling to our next quick action, which is remove background. This one allows you to take any image from your computer and remove the background on it. So no more do we need green screens. Adobe Express is going to work the magic for us. So I'm going to come back home. From home, I'm going to go back to those quick actions. Remember, I'm going to scroll down till I find the shoe, and the shoe is the remove background quick action here. You can also remove backgrounds while you're editing inside of a Adobe Express file, but if you just need a quick remove background because you need to put that picture someplace else, this is a great way to do it. Another reason I love this is that my picture is getting processed through Adobe, and I'm not opening up a third-party site trying to upload a picture to remove a background, and then who knows what the terms of use is on that other third-party website and what they're going to do with my picture, right? I can be rest assured Adobe's not doing anything with my picture on these education accounts. So I'm going to click Browse. Notice the file format must be JPEG or PNG. So I'm going to browse again. This time I am going to utilize this picture here, and it happens so fast you don't even see what that background was. You're like, Lori, what was the background? Well, let me show you. I'm going to come over here and let me open up a new document, and I'll upload that file that I just did that remove background on. This will give me a twofer because I can show you how we can do it in the editor as well. So here's loading a little glass. We're growing a bean. We got a bean and we're growing a plant from it, right? On this, we've got a background, we've got the table, and we've got a wall here. And so with that remove background, what it did was it got rid of the table and the wall. From here, what I can also do is I can add in my own background. So I can click from any of these backgrounds to kind of edit my picture right away here if I want to. I also have the ability where I can download this picture, keeping that transparent background. So then if I want to go take this picture and put it into a Google slide, I can do that. If I want to put it into a Google Doc, I can do that because it's going to download as a transparent PNG file. I can also choose open in editor, and then I can start editing that file from the original with that background removed. Now, the other way that we can also remove backgrounds is if you're inside of the editor and you add your own picture file. Once you select that image, over on the left-hand side, you get a bunch of different choices. This time you're looking for the dog. So there's not a shoe here to tell you, hey, the shoe is removed background. This one's this black and white dog. And when I click on it here, it's going to do the exact same thing. It's going to remove that background for me. The advantage to doing it in the editor versus just doing it from the quick action is that you also have an erase tool where if you needed to go refine what was actually removed from the background, you can. Now, the other thing that I want to show you here is the fact that it's not just a solid background that we can, I'm going to add another page, same size. We can do this with any background, not just a solid colored background. So I'm going to upload another image for us. Here we go. Here is my picture. I got this picture from the Library of Congress. Maybe I'm doing a project about this person, and I maybe want just her in the picture, and I don't want the office equipment that's happening in the background behind her. So if I click on that picture to select, I can then choose Remove Background. And in just a couple of seconds, that background has been removed right there. Now you might say, well, what happened to this piece of paper down here? That's where that erase option comes in really handy, because then I can come in here and I can restore parts of the picture if I want to, or it actually did a really good job. There's nothing between there. So that's good. Or if I need to erase more, if I want to erase this piece of paper in her hand, I can click on it to erase. So I can customize that background removal really nicely using the erase feature that's built into the editor. So that's our remove background option. The next one that we're going to take a look at is create QR code. So one of the great things that we like to do as educators is create a good QR code so that all anybody has to do is scan it and it takes them to that website. There's a lot of websites that do this, but sometimes what'll happen is you'll create a QR code through a third-party website, and after a while that QR code is unusable. It kind of expires after a little bit of time. These QR codes in Adobe Express are not going to expire. So the QR code is, again, a quick action. So if I scroll down, it is one of the most popular ones. So you will find it on the main screen, a couple down from the shoe. We can also find it under View All as well. You'll be able to find that QR code one there too. With the QR code, you'll click on Generate QR Code. You'll add in your URL. So I'm just going to put in here google.com. And then what I can do is I can start playing around with the style of this. I like this one because the QR code is just a black normal QR code to start with. Nothing wrong with that, but I can make some changes to it. I can change it from squares to kind of rounded rectangles or dots. So you have those three options here. You can also change the borders on the three main points in the corners to, again, rounded rectangles or circles. And then the center, you can also make those circles or squares. So if I want to do all circles, got this unique little QR code here. Looks different than a normal QR code. And then under color, I can change the color once again to a couple of different color options. And then the last thing I can do is choose my file format, PNG, JPEG, or an SVG. You're probably going to use JPEG or PNG the most. And then you can download it. The one thing that's going to happen when you download is it will actually save this as just Adobe Express QR code. So if you make a bunch of these at once, that's what they're saving as Adobe Express QR code. So one reminder I always like to make with anybody making QR codes is go into your downloads file and make sure that you rename that QR code with wherever it actually goes to so that you don't have to keep getting your phone to try to scan it to find out which QR code is which. Okay. A couple of questions I see about the QR codes. One, any limit to the number of times the QR code can be used? No, I have not seen any limits on the QR codes from Adobe Express. And then can you add an image to the background of the QR code like some third-party creators? So I would imagine if you pick open in editor, we're going to layer some things together, right? So I'm going to choose open in editor. Look, I can remove the background. And I am going to add in a different background. Let me go to media, oops, elements. Let's just put in a simple background. It kept some of it. See some of that white still there. And it actually got rid of some of the circles. But what I'm going to do, I have my phone right here. So I'm going to go to the QR reader and just see if this actually still works. And it does. It went to Google. So it did actually go to google.com for me. So you can play around with it and try to kind of customize that a little bit more if you want to. I love that. I'm currently using 4 different apps to do all of these things. See, now you only need one thing to do all of the good stuff. And I'm like an infomercial person, but wait, there's more, okay? So there's even more that this can do. So I'm gonna come back over here and show you our next quick action. Another one of my favorites, which is convert to GIF or GIF, however you wanna say it. What you can do is you can upload a video and then choose your file size on, do you want a high quality GIF or do you want medium or low? And then you can turn it into an animated GIF to be able to utilize in websites, presentations, turn in as is. Just know that when you turn a video into an animated GIF, there is no sound. So it's strictly video that you're seeing. So how do we do this? I'm back home over here. And in home, let me close out these extra tabs so I don't get confused. On home, we're going to scroll on down to that quick actions area. We're going to go to view all because this one's hiding. So I'm going to go to view all. This one lives, I think it lives in 2 places. Let me see. It does not live in 2 places. It lives in one. It's under videos. So under video, you have that convert to GIF. It's the one that looks like a dog trying to catch a tennis ball in his mouth. And what you'll do is you'll select that quick action. You'll browse for your video. Notice the file size can be up to 1 gigabyte. It's a pretty big file size if you're making an animated GIF. So I'm going to select my video. And this is a graphic. This is a video that I made in Adobe Express. with some animation features, and maybe I just want it to be an animated GIF. I don't need it as a full video file. So different file sizes here, like I said before, large, high quality, medium quality, or low. So just note, the higher the quality, the larger the file size is going to be. And for animated GIFs, if you have a larger file size, it takes it a little bit longer to load, especially on the first go round. But the quality will be maintained if you keep it at a high quality. If you do a small or low quality, your quality of your images is going to be more kind of pixelated a little bit there. You can also adjust the layout. So I can turn this into something that's portrait or landscape, and it will change that file dimension for me. And then for this one, all I can do is I can download it. So when I click download, it will download onto my computer as an animated GIF file. And then I can put that animated GIF on social media. I can put it in a Google slide. I can put it wherever I put my animated GIFs, or you can even throw it into a text message to send somebody. Michelle, you have a question?
Yeah, I'm just a little confused. Did you say that you're converting from a video or a picture?
It's a video file. It has to be an MP4
It
that you're
has to be
converting
a
from.
video. Okay. Okay, thanks.
Yep, you're welcome. Good question. And it tells you, let me come back over here to view all and go back to video. See, it says drag and drop a video or browse. So it's a video that we're working with here to convert that into an animated GIF. Good question. Let me hop back on over. Our next one that we're going to take a look at is animate from audio. And animate from audio is one where you can take a character, you record your audio and your voice saying something, and then Adobe Express makes that character's mouth move as if you are the one speaking. So as this Saturn was talking, a voice was actually playing with it. On our website where I gave you that link earlier, and it's on every single slide, but I'll drop it in the chat again, TGNTS. I had to think there for a second. On this website, at the very top, it says Padlet Share Your Creations. If you click on that link, there are a ton of examples of Animate from Audio that we've had participants do in other sessions that we usually this session, sometimes we have it a little bit longer, so we actually have time to play and create with these. And if you create with Animate from Audio and you want to share your creation, feel free to add it to the mix here. But there's lots of different examples of things that different folks have created. One of the great ways to use this that teachers have told me in the past that they use it is to create video instructions for their students. Your students can also use this to do like explainer videos, reflection videos. We know that if you ever used Flip before, Flip is gone now as a tool. This is a great replacement for that and having students create videos because they don't have to have their face on the video. They can pick from any character. So how does this work? What we'll do is you pick animate characters. It's this option right here under quick actions. It's also available at the very top of the screen right here where it says animate your voice. So we can get to it two different places. Either place, it's going to bring up the same little wizard. So I'm going to click on this right here. Once I click on animate from audio or animate character, it's going to have me pick three things. Excuse me. The first thing is I'm going to pick a character. From the list, Adobe is constantly adding new characters. So during the school year, you're going to see these characters get added to throughout the whole entire school year. There are characters that look like actual people or like cartoon characters. We've got animals in here. We even have inanimate objects, like you can be a talking shoe if you want to. I don't know why you would, but you might. And then also in here as well, you're going to see, I call these a little creepy, but they're mouths even. And you might be saying, Lori, why would I want to animate just a mouth? Well, if you go find a picture of someone or you take a picture of someone or you have your Bitmoji, you can add in lips and make it look like it's talking. Very similar to an app called ChatterPix for iPad, if you've ever heard of that app before. So you pick your character. I'm going to go with that cute little pumpkin there. You've got a background tab where you can choose the background for where that character is. Maybe they're in the bedroom. Maybe they are in the jungle. Lots of different places we can pick from. I can also choose a transparent background, and then I can put this character into a graphic maybe I created or put it in front of a video. Because when you're creating animate characters, all of these are still images. So if you did want to have your character in front of a moving background like a video, you'd want to pick the transparent background option. You can also upload your own picture from your computer if you want to as well. And then you also have the ability to do a custom solid color in there too. So I could have it just in front of an orange background. You also have the ability to change the dimensions of this. So you've got a square, you've got like a TikTok, Instagram reel type size, and then you've also got a landscape. Let me go back to my background and do something a little cuter. There we go, like a fall background. Once you've picked your character, your background, and your size, we now move over to the left-hand side where we're going to do a couple of things here. One, we're going to toggle on enhanced speech. What this does is it helps to block out background noises that are happening. So if you have a lot of students that are recording in a room together, it really focuses in on the microphone of the laptop or the microphone that is directly in front of that student and kind of filters out that background noise. Does a really great job. Then you also have the ability to upload 2 minutes of audio or record 2 minutes of audio, I should say. So if you need to record more than 2 minutes, you would record two separate animate from audios, and then Adobe Express, you can put them together into one long video. So I'm going to click record, and we're going to hope that my microphone's working today to show you how quickly it takes to process, because that was Jen's question. So I'm going to hit record. Hi, I'm Polly the Pumpkin. I'm going to click done, and then it's going to start to process. Now, my explanation that I just read, just a couple of seconds long. So the process isn't going to take as long as if I recorded 2 minutes. It's still not a real long process. It's not going to take hours for this to process. It's going to be done in just probably less than a minute. It also depends on the character you pick. Some characters, they move a lot more than others. And so then if I press play, again, you're not gonna be able to hear the audio, but the mouth will move along with what it is that I said. Some characters, their arms, feet, expressions on their face will work a lot as well in that. And then on the right-hand side of this, once I'm done, I can download this immediately as an MP4 and I'm done. Or I could choose to open it in the editor. That will open it in the editor version of Adobe Express, just like we've seen all day today. And I can add in additional text. I can add in sound effects. I can add in music to go along with this. So I can layer all of those different pieces all together to create this video that I can then download, just like I downloaded the PDFs and the images before. Lots of great ways that we can kind of layer all of these things together. And then the last thing that I want to show you before we run out of time, because our time is coming to an end, I'm going to discard this, come back home, are all of the great AI features that are available in Adobe Express. Again, through safe and secure environment, because it is going to filter out terms if students try to use terms like we saw whenever I was trying to translate the word parasite in the video. That was a flagged term. So from here, there's a couple of different places I can go to create and generate with AI. Right here on the main home screen at the top, we can create images simply by typing in and describing what it is we want to see, and images can be generated for us. Up here at the top, you'll see examples, and the text that you see is what was typed in to generate those images. The AI, oh, is AI not available for y'all? Let's see, let's do, oops, not available. Y'all may not have it turned on in the district. Womp womp. That's okay. Maybe they'll turn it on eventually, right? So just note it's here in case they end up adding it in. And it's just another area within those quick actions that we can create images if we don't already have them. So we have about 5 minutes left. Go ahead, and if you have any questions, drop them into the chat, or if you want to raise your hand and then come off of mute to ask any of those questions before we start to wrap us up, because we do have an evaluation link that I need to give you. And if you want a digital badge from Adobe Express for what we created today, that is available as well. I'm also going to mention on our Adobe TG, there it is. On our resource website, I've given you links to the Adobe Education Exchange, tons of great tutorials, videos, and lesson plans to utilize Adobe Express with you or your students. There's also a link to the Adobe Creative Educator Community. This is a group on Facebook that is sponsored by Adobe, where teachers can share and get great resources from Adobe Express. They also do trainings in there at least once a week, and they're all saved within the group as well. So it's a great little community there as well. Allison. So Allison says, a lot of the PDFs I was trying to upload to edit failed due to permissions. Is there a way I can fix that? It's probably because the person that created those PDFs protected them and locked them. So if you purchase those from someone, sometimes folks like on Teachers Pay Teachers will protect them so that you can't edit them. And then sometimes publishers will also do that for their PDFs so that you cannot edit the PDFs. So it just probably depends on those permissions for those individual files. Good questions there. Let me go ahead and drop the links into the chat for you for the evaluation for our session today. And if you would like to get that digital badge and certificate for our time as well, that link is on there as well. It's called the edX badge link on there too. And if you're interested in getting that digital badge, I'll walk you through the steps real quick. And then that way they'll also be on this recording. So if you're watching it back as well, you'll have the steps too. So what you'll do is when you click on that link for the badge link, you'll click Enroll Now on that screen. So you'll click Enroll Now. On the second screen that appears, you're going to click on this link that says Create Meaningful Formative Assessments. So you'll click on this link right here, this text. And then on the next page that appears, you'll scroll down to where the Next button appears, and you'll click Next. And once you click Next, you'll get confetti on the screen, and you'll get a couple of emails from Adobe with that digital badge and your course certificate in there as well. Then there's also a link to the course survey here, or you can click on that link that I added into the chat. And then Mrs. Runk also added in a link for you as well.
The link I added is the attendance link for the county that you need to fill out to show that you were in session 3.
So there you go. Make sure you do that one as well. And we've got just about 2 minutes. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'll stick around, answer any of those questions. Make sure you do all of those forms so you get your credit. Make sure especially to do that one from the county so you get your credit for this session. And all of the links that I dropped into the chat are also going to be available within the folders that they're going to be sharing out to y'all a little bit later as well.
And Laura, did the Adobe badges expire? If we received one last year, do we need to receive it again this year?
No, they never expire. So you're good to go once you get one. But sometimes different sessions have different badges. So if you haven't gotten this one, you may want to do this one because it may be a different badge than from last year.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions for me? Got a little less than a minute left. Okay, thank y'all so much for your time today. Hope you're walking away with at least one new thing, hopefully way more than that, right? And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and your trainings. Thank y'all so much.
Can you tell me one more time how to get that badge? I missed the first step once you click on that link.
So you'll click on enroll now. Let me go back because I have pictures. So you clicked enroll now.
Yeah.
And then you'll click on whatever the text is underneath section 1. I think my picture looks different than the actual text.
I think I might have to unenroll and then re-enroll.
Up here at the top, are you on the overview section or is it on a different one?
I am now.
Okay. That's usually the part that for some reason it puts people on a different tab. So click overview
Okay.
and then whatever that text is right there.
Yep.
And then once you click on that, you'll scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page and then click on the blue next button.
Got it. And then
it should send you, it should bring up the screen with a bunch of confetti and it'll email you your digital badge.
Thank
Yep.
you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Okay. Thank y'all so much.